Hi all, it's Christy again, and today I want to talk to you about buyers, sellers, and more on spirit companions. And today I want everyone to remember these are my opinions. This is how I view things. This is how I've experienced things. And that's my disclaimer. This video may not make some people happy and others may find it informative, but I think it's really important to share. So let's start with the sellers. Oh, and you'll see my dog's getting comfortable. There are many different sellers, and some are great. Some are not so great. Some suck. Some are frauds. And some are just learning. I mean, there's a whole wide variety of sellers. And there, unfortunately, are a lot of sellers out there that think, whoo, this is a way to make quick money. And they charge big prices. And last week, they couldn't read their own spirits. They had to have somebody come in and read every single spirit for them because they couldn't communicate. And then a week or two later, they're now selling them. Think about it, people. Do they sound legit to you? And there are others that charge $10 a pop. Now, come on. If you are working with spirits and you're doing the write-ups and you're putting hours of time into working with these beings, are you really going to charge $10? I mean, a sale is one thing, but come on. You get what you pay for. So I think it's extravagant when people charge $1,000 or $900 or $600. And I personally feel that you can't rate one is rare and one is not rare, and they're all the same. They're different beings. They all have energy. They're all part of us, and we're all a part of them. And you can't rate them as this is more important, or this is less important, or this is rarer, or this is greater, or this is weaker. You know, you can get this one for $10 because they're a dime a dozen, but you have to pay $1,000 for this one because, whoo, it's so rare. Bull. Bull, 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 bull. So that's my view on that. I charge the same price for all of mine. I may charge more for the vessel. I may charge more for the work. But the main price for every single spirit is the absolute same. Because to me, there are none that are better than the others. There are none that are more rare. Yeah, there are some that come by less often, but that doesn't make them any more special. So that's another thing to think about. And there's a lot of kings and queens and this and that out there. And oh my God, how many kings and queens are there out there, people? Come on. This is not for power. Power, 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 power. You're working with companions to connect, to grow. So again, that's my opinion. May not like it, but it's my opinion. Now, there are some sellers out there that are fabulous. I mean, absolutely fabulous. I think Amy Baker is one of the best. Her business is Wispy Winds, and most of hers are truthfully, they don't like to be labeled. They are energy sources, and they've come to do whatever they're there for. And spirits like us are on different levels. Some need that label. Some companions, they come forth and that's who they are. And others are, I'm just a divine being. Or whether they're divine or darker energy, it doesn't matter. So realize that most of the spirits that come to you are going to be spirits that are the same energy level as you. Some may be a little higher, some may be a little lower, depending on if you're to help them or them to help you. Another fabulous seller is Jules Moon. I got my first from her, and most of the readings I do, well, not most, but I'd say probably 45% are from her. And that's a lot, considering all of the sellers that are out there. People love Jules. Jules is legit. I have a few items from her, my husband, my children. And, I don't necessarily agree with some of the people she works with, but Jules herself, amazing. Amazing. Another, another great seller is, I have my list, and this thing won't let me minimize, so I'm going to have to try to remember. Another good seller is Aurora Sunberg. I do not have any items from her, but she has allowed me to connect with many of her companions, and their energy is a bit different than my taste, and I probably, unless it was a special item that I found, I wouldn't necessarily purchase from her, only for that reason, because they're a different energy than I usually go for, but they are strong and they are wonderful. And I know I love her vessels. Her taste is spectacular. And I know that she's really good at what she does. James, I'm sorry, I forgot your last name. Aurora's boyfriend. Sorry, that's awful to say, to name someone because of their boyfriend, but I can't remember your name and I don't have my list, your last name. But James is also, I didn't ask permission like I did with Aurora, but I went and I was just nosy, and I was reading some of his companions, and I like his work. I really do. I really like his work. There's another seller that I have never worked with. We're friends on Facebook, but she, again, is in a different way than I work with. She works mainly with demons and stuff, and I read demons, but I don't work with demons. I'll never work with demons. Well, I can't say never, but I most likely won't work with demons ever. And that is Akelta. I think her last name is Wild. Again, I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names. But I have had her highly recommended. I've done some readings on some of her items, and people that work with her love her. There's another one that I did get a referral for that also works with darker beings. I've only gotten one, but again, I read the item. It was legit, was Angie Parsons. Dark Angel, I think she goes by. If you need to know these names, contact me and I'll tell you afterwards, because my list, it's covered. So I think those were all the ones that I named, but I can't fully remember. And, I stand behind, if I say these are who I believe in, I stand behind them. Like I said, I may not go in the direction that some of their beings go, but that's okay. I stand behind them. Now, with sellers, there's an old way of doing things and a newer way of doing things. And a lot of the sellers that do it the old way don't necessarily agree with the sellers that do it the new way, and vice versa. And that's okay. We all do our thing in our own way. So, I'm not going to say who's right, who's wrong, because nobody is. We all do things our own way. And that's something we all have to accept. So because someone does it or claims it to be this or says this or these words or these terms, I don't think buyers should judge on that, because we truthfully have our own belief systems. And what really matters is if there is a companion that is attached to the vessel, to yourself, or wherever, that you can connect with and that you feel the energy. That is all that matters. Now, buyers, I have a few words for you. And please know, guys, this is going to be a little long. Well, the whole video, not just this part. It is your responsibility to learn how to connect and communicate with companions before you even buy your first one. Don't be too cheap to spend the time to learn how to do it properly. Go to someone you trust. Amy does stuff like this. Wispy Winds, myself. I know there's probably some others out there. I don't know them all. But come on. I have had people literally write me and ask me, and this is not insulting them. This is just the ignorance of the situation. They have written me, said, how does the Spirit want me to connect with them? Well, it doesn't matter how the Spirit wants you to connect with them, because if you aren't able to hear them or see them in your third eye, or how, feel them with a pendant or in your hand, or get visions or whatever, if you don't have a certain ability, you are not going to be able to communicate with them if they say, well, I want you to connect with me through automatic writing. Well, first off, if you have no idea what automatic writing is and you've never done it, how are you going to communicate with them? You communicate with your own abilities. Everybody has some natural ability. That's how you communicate. So if you don't know what your natural ability is, if you don't know different kinds that are out there, then you need to get help and figure it out. You cannot rely on the seller to tell you everything. You can't contact that seller every 5 minutes, and thank God this has never happened to me, but I've seen it happen to other sellers. You cannot contact them every 5 minutes and say, well, what do they want me to know now? You need to take it upon yourself. It's your responsibility to learn how to contact and connect with your companions. Otherwise, why are you working with them? It takes a strong ability, a blessed gift to be able to communicate with the other side and allow them, to have them allow you to attach their energy to something so that they can share that energy with you. They don't need to. They don't need a tangible item to connect to you. But we as humans need that tangible item to connect with them. It gives us a better sense of connection. So take the time, spend the money. Instead of spending it on one vessel and one being, spend it on educating yourself and learning how to better help yourself and your companions and communicate with them. This is really a huge pet peeve of mine. If you want to learn how to communicate and connect, take the time, ask for help, and don't ask for free help, because sellers have a lot to do and they don't have the time to spend hours helping someone do something that they should be paying for. If you don't know how to do it, get help. It's that easy. I told you, people are going to get mad at me, but that's okay, because I'm here to help everybody help themselves. And that is the biggest thing of all. Help yourself. Do not expect these spirits to come here and do everything for you. Don't. They're not going to. You have to do it for yourself. You have to get up, you have to get motivated, and you have to do it for yourself. They're here to say, you can do it. They're here to tell you how to do it. They're here to egg you on. They're here to empower you. They are not here to do it for you. And I know I said that in my last Spirit Companion video, but I'm saying it again. They are not here to do it for you. Have to throw in a smile. Now that I've said that, Spirit Companions. I have an adoption coming up. And I've had a few people ask me, do you do dark spirits? Do you do light? Do you do gray? What do you do? I really truly feel that people need to stop asking that. It doesn't matter if they're dark, light, or white. We have all of these energy parts inside of us. So be willing to work with what comes forth. Don't have this thing set in your head where, okay, I'm only going to work with white lighted beings because they're the good ones. Or I'm only working with dark lighted beings because they're going to give me this power. Now, come on. You have no idea what these different beings can bring to you unless you open yourself up and give them a chance. Give yourself a chance. Experience who comes forth for you. Take the time to see who comes forth for you. That's really important. When you go and you look at someone's listings of the different beings that they have posted, don't just look, oh, I gotta have the vampire, gotta have the vampire, gotta have the vampire. Look. Block out the name and just read about them. Just, what's that soul connection? That's really what the most important thing is. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, if a Celtic came to me tomorrow and said, Christy, I have this demon or whatever for you, and we all know, well, the people that know me, I'll be like, demon, okay. They're calling for you. I would truthfully push aside that instantaneous, and I would say, okay, I have to push this ego aside because this ego is not helping me, and share with me, what do you got for me? And then if I really didn't feel a connection, fine. But if I did, I'd say, okay, you know what? I got to see what's in here because there's something there, and I've got to investigate this deeper. That's why we're here. They're not here to make us comfortable where we are. They're here to bring us to a higher enlightenment, a deeper sense of ourselves and of themselves. So I really wish buyers would stop selling themselves short and really open up to every opportunity that's out there. Every opportunity. We all learn. We all grow. So do they. Now, my last bit here, and my brain just went completely blank. My last thing here is I have messages going bing, bing, bing. Is that I want to give a little more info on sellers. That's my last thing. And then this long video will be done. I've already said that if someone's been selling, wasn't selling, they were getting other people to do vessel readings for them and stuff. And then all of a sudden they're selling. Come on, watch out, people. You can't do that. Now, there are some that are training. I'm telling you what, I have a client. She's going to be selling. She's going to. She is going to make a difference in this world. She knows who she is. I've already talked to her about it. And she's the only person I've ever offered to mentor in teaching what I know, in sharing my knowledge and sharing my experiences. I really believe in her. I think she's going to go far. And she's open. I mean, she's so much even more open than I am. So just because they're new doesn't mean they're not good. But if somebody can't communicate with their own spirits and then sells, come on, people. You've got to be your own police. It's not up to the sellers to say who's good, who isn't good. So many people out there are throwing around, you're slandering me, you're liable, you're this, you're that. Come on. Who cares? And so many people are worried about there's not enough. I'm going to lose money if I say somebody else is a good seller. There are so many people out there, and the meta field is growing every day. There is more than enough work for everybody. So stop worrying about losing clients. Now, there's also sellers that feel insecure and sometimes tend to fall off their path. And unfortunately, there's a few that I know that I truly supported, and now, I don't know, they're just kind of fallen off their path. And they'll get back there, and when they do, I'll be woohoo again and sharing their names. But until they stop trying to prove something to some of the higher up sellers or the bigger company sellers or the longer time sellers, I can't support them anymore. Buyers and people need to realize sellers are not gods. They're not, some miracle workers. They're not special magical people. I mean, yes, many of us, we work with magic, but it's not like we're on a pedestal. Don't put sellers on pedestals. Any of us. Hi, Juliet, my doggy. Are you helping me? Yes, thank you, baby. We are people like you. We learn, we cry, we go to the bathroom, we vomit, we yell at our kids. We tell my dog to stop sniffing my armpit. I do have underarm deodorant on. She just does it. We have our flaws. We have the things we're good at. Don't put sellers on pedestals. They don't belong there. And most of them will tell you the same thing. We are human. We are just like you. And some sellers like to buy from other sellers. That doesn't mean they're not good at what they do. I do not pay attention to the energy around me all the time. I don't pay attention to who comes forth for me. I put me last, as do most people that are healers and sellers and metaphysical shop people, just most people in general, mothers pretty much in general. People in general put themselves last. So why would a seller be any different with spirit companions? Amy has given me most of my companions. Jules given me a few. Starry One Night, that's another one. I only have one from her, but I'll tell you what, that was some of the strongest energy I felt the first time I looked at the picture. There's many great sellers out there that are great people that have their life issues. They're not gods. They don't belong on pedestals. So please, don't put us there. I've had people afraid to talk to me because, you know all this. No, I'm Christy. I think I'm a Looney Tune half the times because of the things that go through my head. Yeah. Hey, Mom, guess what? You're connected to fairies, and I'm a witch. This is not things that most of us grow up talking about or thinking about. Yeah, some people were witches when they grew up, but not where I'm from. So we're the same. We all have the great heart's energy. Kermit agrees. We all have the same heart's energy. We're all connected. Don't forget that, people. Don't forget that, please. That is so important. We are one. All of us, one. Now, I do want to give a shout out. Yes, my camera thing here says it's been 24 minutes. I'm so sorry. It's so long. But I wanted to give a few shout outs. Again, Amy Baker, Wispy Wins. Jules Moon. If I say your business name wrong or pronounce your name wrong, everybody, I'm sorry. Jules Magical Moon Offerings, I think it's called. Starry One Night. Her name is Rebecca Starry Night on the web. Kelta, I think Wild from Satan and Sons. Angie Parsons. Dark Angel. James and Aurora. I think that's mainly the sellers. If I forgot someone that was on my list, I'm sorry. And I want to shout out for healers. Woo, healers. These I've both used personally. Lisa Congemi, the Willow's Reach. That's the name of her business. And again, Amy Baker, Wispy Winds. Metaphysical Stores. Kim Macaluso. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I can't think of the name of her store. So, I'm sorry. But look her up under Kim Macaluso. And again, if you need names and spellings, I will give them to you. And I have the name of the store written down in parentheses and everything. Fantastic items. Oh, I don't have any of my things right here handy, but I mean, fantastic. I've gotten many things from her. Everything's great energy. I love it, love it, love it. Xbina Rose, staffs, and I've gotten a basin from her, and I've gotten a plaque from her, and she's fantastic. She does exactly what you want. A lot of ums. Oh my goodness, so many bad. Good thing I'm not being judged for speech by a speech coach or something. Then we've got, did I say Lisa Congemi? Yes, I did. For healers, Lisa Congemi. And then jewelry. Number 1, Christy Burr. Luna's. Just gone out of my mind. Luna something. Again, ask me for the list. But Christy J. Burr. Fantastic pieces. I love the energy. Anala Maltz. I do not know the name of her business. But she makes some really interesting things. I really, truly like some of the stuff she's making. And Steph Mead. Wow, Steph Mead. I have gotten some stuff for her. I've even gotten some Christmas presents and stuff for my daughter. I've gotten a few pieces for myself. She really does well. So check her out. And I really hope I didn't forget anybody. But you know what? I'll just make a post later with just the names. So I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Be proactive buyers. Woohoo! Keep doing great selling sellers. And we're all different, but we're all the same. Love to you all.